Hi Wonder Class and welcome to our lesson on Monday the 1st of February 2021. This is our PSHE lesson, so let's see what we're going to be looking at in today's lesson. Can I practice mindfulness and reflect on changes? Now, it's that time again, so we're going to read a story from the current read Rundell's The Book of Hope. So let's see what our story is going to be today. Mercaster. You won't find Mercaster on a map. Maps show rivers, mountains and cities. They don't bother with clouds because clouds come and go, except in Mercaster. The clouds came to Mercaster, but they did not go away again. They sat there on the roofs and in the squares and the streets and gardens until it was wiped off the map. The world forgot Mercaster and Mercaster forgot the world. If you were a Mercaster girl, like Sunny Hotspur for instance, you would wear your hair in the Mercaster fashion, high and curly like your own personal cloud. You would shop or chat using Mercaster's special app, which was called Gloom. You would not go out, not without a mask or snorkel, because inside a cloud it's wet, dull and endless. Once, Sunny asked her mum, "My name, Sunny, what does it even mean?" "It's just one of those words that make you feel nice but don't actually mean anything. There are a lot of words like that in Mercaster dialect. For instance," so dialect, if you didn't know, just means the language which is being spoken in that country. There was a painting on the dining room wall in Hotspur House called Foggy Day. It showed a foggy day. There was another called Cumulus, which showed thick grey clouds and streaks of gold and yellow shining through the gaps. What were the streaks of yellow? It's the painter ran out of grey and had to use the different colours, said Mum. Unconvinced, Sunny sat at her window scanning the passing murky for a glimpse of yellow. She never saw a streak of yellow, but she did see an eye, a deep dark eye set in the wrinkle of murk staring at her. The murk reasoned. Sunny had an eye, so it must have a head. If it has a head, it must have a bottom, which means the murk must have an end. Grabbing her mask and snorkel, she dashed outside. The moment she opened the door, she could hear something breathing. The murk has a voice, she said to herself, and wondered if she could talk to it. That moment something sniffed at her, then, as if she was a flower, picked her up and hoisted her into the air. You would have known right away that this was an elephant and it was lifting her with its trunk. High into the damp air she rose until she saw, yes, above the murk, the sky was blue. The distance was green and sometimes blossom white. Above her head streaks of yellow. The elephant waved her around in the air. What was it doing? Why, what did it want? "You're lost," yelled Sammy. "You're lost in the murk like us. You want me to find my way out?" She could guide the elephant out of here and leave the murk forever. But what about everyone else? Could she leave them all behind? While she thought, the elephant blew impatiently, and where it breathed, the murk grew thinner and light showed through. And when it breathed, it sounded like a trumpet. And another trumpet answered to another and another. There must be a dozen elephants lost in the murk. Sunny swung the tree this way and that, steering her elephant towards the nearest elephant, and then leading the two to the next elephant and the next, until she brought a dozen elephants together in the centre of the murk. "Now sing," she cried, "sing me a city." And a dozen elephants trumpeted their happiness at finding each other, and their trumpeting tore the murk apart like tissue paper and unwrapped a city with domes and towers and bridges and minarets and waterways. The city Sunny had lived in, but never till that moment seen. So let's have a look what we're going to be doing. So mindfulness walk. The steady rhythm of walking is calming and comforting for many of us. If children or yourselves are anxious about returning to school following the lockdown, use this mindfulness walk to distract you from your worries about the future and bring them to the present. Walking mindfully allows children to connect with the world and feel more grounded. Walk slowly and deliberately, placing one foot in front of the other. Starting. Go on a mindful walk. So here are the steps to doing that. Number 1, stand still and take several slow, deep breaths, which will help your body to relax. Number 2, soften your focus and look at the ground in front of you. Number 3, smile. Smiling signals to the brain that something nice is happening. And number 4, walk slowly, focusing on the movements that go into each and every step. While walking, pay attention to what you see, smell, and hear. Stop from time to time to notice interesting objects or sounds. And at the end of the walk, stop and stand still again and take a few deep breaths. So here are 6 steps into following how to go for a mindfulness walk. So let's see what else we have. Dealing with change. So we are dealing with lots of change right now, which is very true. There's so many things around us that we are very comfortable with, which are now different. So here is an activity to get you to think about the positive and negative sides of change. We can't change the current situation, but we can look for the good things about it to help ourselves to feel better. So basically, finding a resolution to what seems to be a problem. It's a reminder that this time won't last forever. Here are some examples of positive and negative changes to get your own train of thought started. So let's have a think of some of the things which are going to be positive and negative. So I'm not actually going to tell you that. I did think I was going to tell you the positive and the negatives, but I'm not going to tell you those things. That is one of your activities. So here are your 3 challenges for your PSHE lesson. What was the benefit of going on the walk? So I want you to maybe record yourself going on the walk or record yourself talking about how the walk made you feel. Number 2, identify some positive and negative changes in your life. And number 3, can you think of ways to think differently about your negative changes? So if I have to think of positive and negative changes in my life, I think what I would probably say, I'm going to come out of here and type it in. So I'll give you a few examples. So positive changes in my life is I have had more time with the people around me who are special. Something positive is it's given me time to do just the things I like. For example, relaxing and watching different TV shows in the evening. So let's see what negative changes has this brought to me. An example is not being able to see all of my friends and family. Something I really find hard is not being able to eat in a restaurant and not being able to go swimming. So, if I had to do this activity like you guys, I've listed the positive and negative changes. So my third one would be to think of ways to think differently about my negative changes. So if I had to think differently about my negative changes that I'm experiencing, so not being able to eat in a restaurant, instead what I've been trying to do is cook lots of different dishes at home and different cuisines to eat because I enjoy eating and I enjoy eating foods from different places and different countries. Not being able to go swimming is something I really can't do. There was a point where I was going swimming in an outdoor pool, but I don't think that's open anymore. So not being able to swimming is just having that thought that maybe I could go when it gets a bit more warmer outside for a walk and just have a think about the times when I would be going swimming until the swimming pools are back open again. Not being able to see all of my friends and family, well, that would be a good way to see them would just be through maybe FaceTime or WhatsApp video call. So that's what I've been doing. So those are your 3 activities for your PSHE lesson, and I will see you all in the next lesson. Bye everyone.